Hi guys, welcome to this session in Microsoft Project. In this module, I want to show you how you can link your tasks together. So I've got some tasks on the screen and I'm just going to move this across a bit. I'm going to call this the curtain so you can see the predecessors column. Now there's lots of different ways that you can link tasks together. The quickest way, but not always the best way, is just to basically highlight all your tasks. Doesn't matter where you highlight them. And then on the task tab at the beginning of your ribbon, you've got this little chain symbol which says link task. If you click that, it will give you a sequential link. Basically, all your tasks will follow on one after another. So when that task finishes, this one starts, and so on, like a little set of steps, which is okay. Might be the case for several tasks, but not all tasks, I would suggest. Another way you could do that is delete that. Let me delete that. Is just type what you want to do. So 2, 3, 4, and then 5. You're just manually doing it yourself. So it's totally up to you which way. Those are two easy ways. Now what I want to do is talk about the other tasks. So that is just the default task link. Basically, one task has to finish before the next starts, and you can see the arrow direction of the arrow there. But there are 3 other types of links that you can utilize, and I'm going to show you those by double clicking into one of these tasks. If I double click into task 1, when I get into task information, you will see the different types of links. So if I go to predecessors, so if I select a task, so I'll go task 6, that'll just activate this. You can see the other types in there. So you've got the finish to start, which is the default, a little suffix at the end, FS, finish to start. You don't need to put that in if it's just a straightforward follow-on task. You do need to put that in if you've got any delay or lag or lead time, which should be in this column there, lag or lead. Next one is start to start. One task will start and it'll decide when the other task can start, and you definitely need to put SS in there. Then you've got finish to finish and then start to finish. So one task finishes will dictate when the next task can finish. The start of a task will dictate when a task finishes. So those are the main types, and those are the letters that you have to use if you're going to type it out yourself. So I'll just cancel that off for a minute. And then what I'm going to do is change this one to a start to start link. I'm going to say that task 2 is going to start with task 1. It's going to be driven by task 1 though. So instead of putting 2 there, I have to put 2 SS, start to start. Watch what happens to this little arrow. Click away from that. Now it's coming out of the beginning of task 1 and going into the beginning of task 2. So for example, if I move that forward into next week, the whole project goes, because that's pushing that, and these are all follow-ons. So quite often you have, this might not be a 2-day task, this might just be a 0-day duration. It might be a go, no-go task. You've received a purchase order, you've received a go from higher up, and then that is the start of the project, and then that pushes it forward. So that's 2SS finishing. 2SS, start to start. Now if I go and get myself a couple of extra tasks, I'll go tasks 6 and 7. So if I do the finish to finish one, if I just go 1 day, 1 day. So what I'd need to type here, if task 6 dictates when task 7 finishes, it would date FF. And then you can see the line there. The finish of that would dictate when this task can finish. So it could be task 6. Task 6, when that finishes, so task 6 could be something like installing plug sockets. When those sockets are finished, task 7 is testing those sockets perhaps, then that would finish. So I can't finish testing until I've finished installing. And there might be a bit of a delay there, a bit of an hour delay or something, which I'll do that in a minute. Now if I do another task, let's do task A and task B. And both of these can be 1 day. Now, the start to finish task. So I'm going to say that when this task starts, this task finishes. So it's going to be task 11, 11 SF. Watch what happens now. So it's going to say to me, do you want to move this task before the start date of the project? Yeah, okay. And then you can see it moving across like that. So what you're creating there is, that's the start of this, will dictate that. So this is like just-in-time delivery. If I just push this forward a bit, push it forward to next week, it just basically pulls that task and any other tasks you've got, like a little train. That might also be a milestone. It might be a handover date, just in time. It could be a case of, I'm starting to dig the foundations. I need the truck carrying the wet concrete to arrive when I'm ready to start, not before. And again, there might be a bit of a delay in that actual time. So that's the start to finish. Now, lead and lag time, if I do some more tasks C and task D, I'm back to doing the normal tasks. I'll put these as 5 days and 5 days, and I'll just do a normal follow-on task. So that's going to be 14 in there. So at the moment, that then becomes 10 days duration, 10 days work. It's even longer than that because of the weekends. But you can see that that whole process takes 10 days. Now, if that was paint the first coat of a room, I don't need to wait 5 days for that first coat to dry on the first wall, for example. I might only need to wait 1 day, and then I can start doing the second coat on that first wall and then carry on following it round. So it would only be a 6-day task. But how do I tell the computer that? So basically what I need to do, it is 14 FS finish to start, which is the default one. But because I'm going to put a delay on it, or a lead time on it, or a lag time on it as it's called, I need to qualify it with the FS. So I'm going to type 14 FS. First off, I'll go minus 4D, 4 days. Press enter, and you can see it comes like that, wraps around back. So the finish of this will drive when that can start. But I personally don't like the look of that. So what I would rather do is do a start to start one. So I'm going to go 14 SS plus 1 day delay. See what that looks like. You see that looks better, and that's probably how it is. The start of this will dictate when that starts. So you can't actually start painting the second coat until this one has started doing the first coat. So if I push that forward into, say, next week or something, it's pushing that forward as well. So they'll always be moving as a pair if you move that one, unless you pull that one off, which you wouldn't naturally do. Obviously, when you start adding resources, that might affect this as well. Now, I'll just do one more task. We'll go for task E. I'm going to do a 5-day task. Sometimes you might want to split a task. For whatever reason, a resource can't attend that particular day, or there's a bank holiday or something. On the task tab at the top, you've got this split task tool. If I click on that, it gives you like a little preview. You just ignore this. Move your mouse down to the bar. You'll see the date on the right hand side of that little help across the screen. Move your mouse forward and that date will change. So now mine says Friday the 8th. I'm clicking and holding my mouse and pushing it forward. Now I can see 2 dates. It's now saying Monday the 11th to Friday the 15th. I'm going to let go. So that's the split I've done there, just a 1 day split, and you can see how that sits. If I've done that wrong, I can just pick that up and push it back together again and start again the whole process. Go back up to the top, get the tool. Let's sit on Monday this time, Monday the 11th, push it forward to Wednesday the 13th, let go. That's the split that you've created. And you can split it multiple times as well. And as you saw, you can just push it back if you so wish. So that's task links, how you can link things together. If you can't remember what to type, you just double click into the task. In task information, it's going to tell you what type of link that is. So that's going to tell you it's linking to task C. It's a start to start, and you've got a 1 day lag. So that's the lead and lag column. A minus number would be lead, a positive would be a lag. Clicking OK to that. So that's all I want to talk about in this little video, how you can do task links, the 4 different links that there are in Microsoft Project. So hopefully that was of use. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you on the next one.